Hello, welcome back. I hope this video reaches you. Unlike my last one, which the very nice folks at YouTube decided to take down. The very nice people who work at YouTube, who definitely are not a bunch of wankers. They're definitely not a bunch of idiots. They're very nice people. They just happen to ban one of my videos that I spent hours of my life making. Don't you just love them? They're very nice people and I like them a lot, honestly. They're definitely not idiots. Hopefully this video will reach you. I recently read Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. This was mainly because I read The Terminal Man a few weeks ago. You might have seen that video. I really enjoyed reading The Terminal Man. I thought that was a great book. And then that got me thinking, you know, maybe I should read another one of this guy's books. I stumbled upon Jurassic Park, and of course, just like everyone else, I saw the movie when I was younger. The movie's a bit hazy in my memory, but I remember it quite well. And so I thought I'd give Jurassic Park a go. I wanted to see how similar it is to the film. I was kind of hoping that it would be less commercial than the film. I was hoping that it would be less pedestrian, but unfortunately it kind of is commercial. It's a bit family friendly like the movie, but it's very well researched. I did like the book. It got off to a very good start, and straight away I could tell that a lot of research had been put into it. It's actually quite educational, really. You learn a lot about different dinosaurs and stuff. And I've always loved the way that they've, you know, the idea of getting DNA from amber, or mosquitoes trapped in amber and tree sap. I've always thought that that part of the story is very clever. I've always admired that. That's good writing. And reading through this book, you do get the odd insight like that. There's a theory in the book. It mentions that dinosaurs actually might have been warm-blooded instead of cold-blooded. A lot of people believe this because a lot of dinosaur fossils have been dug up in cold climates instead of warm climates. And there's evidence that dinosaurs looked after their young, like mammals do. And it's also been speculated that dinosaurs usually had long necks, very long necks. And so in order to get the blood up the neck into the dinosaur's brain, there would have had to have been a 4-chambered heart pumping the blood. All of these things suggest that dinosaurs may have been warm-blooded. That's a good thing I learned from reading this book. There are also some other clever parts in it, like to prevent the dinosaurs escaping or wreaking havoc after they've escaped the island. The scientists have kind of inserted a gene into the dinosaurs so that they can't produce a certain amino acid. So if they escape from the island, they can only survive for about 24 hours. That's a good little plot point there. And the dinosaurs stop breeding on the island, even though the scientists have only cloned females. And it's explained that this is because they've got amphibian DNA. Certain amphibians, like frogs, actually undergo a sex change in certain situations. And that explains how the dinosaurs reproduce. Things like that make the book good. It's quite a clever book in that sense. There are some very good theories and insights. However, as I say, it's a little bit too pedestrian for me. I'm attracted to books that are very daring and very edgy. Things that are likely to offend. And this one is just, you know, like the film, it's very family friendly, very pedestrian, very commercial. So I actually found myself getting a bit bored halfway through. And there are lots of action scenes in the book where dinosaurs are chasing humans and stuff. And that's all very well and good, but that kind of thing is more suitable for a film. The good thing about books is that you get an insight into people's minds. You can read the characters' minds a lot more. Books are good because they get more psychological. For me, if I'm reading a book and it's all action and car chases or dinosaur chases, it kind of gets a bit tedious for me. So I got a bit bored, and it felt like the book had been written for TV. I wonder whether Michael Crichton wrote this book because he knew that it was going to get made into a film. Maybe you can let me know. I'm not sure about that. Kind of reminds me of Chuck Palahniuk. He once said something. I read Haunted, my favourite book of his, and in the back few pages he talks about writing in general. And he says that if you're going to write a book, you might as well make it offensive and daring and edgy, because otherwise, you know that's the good thing about books. That you can get away with a lot more in a book. You might as well get offensive and daring. Otherwise, you might as well just write for TV. And this kind of reminded me of that. It feels like it's written for TV. The characters are a bit annoying sometimes. Lex is a bit annoying in the book. The little girl, the girl character, gets very annoying. She's very whingy and stuff. I didn't really like her. The best two characters in the book, actually, are Hammond and Malcolm. Hammond is like the old man who owns the park, and Malcolm is the mathematician, played by an actor I can't remember. The guy who played The Fly. You remember the film The Fly? That guy. The best parts of the book is the dialogue between Hammond and Malcolm. Malcolm comes out of, he talks about chaos theory and these different philosophical theories. He speaks to them about Hammond. I quite enjoyed reading those sections. And by the way, Hammond in the book is a lot less likeable than he is in the film. In the film he comes across as this nice cuddly old man, but in the book he's actually a bit of an arsehole. You don't really like him in the book. He's quite ruthless. He only cares about the park. Another bit that surprised me is a certain section from Malcolm where he puts down technology. I'll tell you what, it would make the Unabomber proud. This section of dialogue is something like the Unabomber would say. He goes on about how he slams scientists, and scientists only care about moving forward. They don't care about the consequences. And he points out that even though we've had about 100 years of making household technology like washing machines and tumble dryers and dishwashers, people still spend the same amount of time doing housework today than they did in the 1920s and stuff. That's a surprising section in the book. I didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming. There are obviously a few differences between the film and the book. One notable exception is there's a scene where the T-Rex is chasing them down a river. They're in a raft and the T-Rex is chasing them in the water. I don't think that's in the film. I might be wrong. As I mentioned, the film's a bit hazy now. I haven't seen it in years, but I think that's a bit different. There are loads of differences. I won't go through them all. It's not really worth it. The ending dragged. I found myself skimming through the last 50 pages or so. I got bored. I was a bit disappointed. And to be honest, I think The Terminal Man is a lot better. If you're thinking about reading a Michael Crichton book, my advice is read The Terminal Man. I've read 2 of his books so far. I love The Terminal Man. Jurassic Park, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 stars. And that is mainly because it's so well researched, and there are some clever ideas with the DNA engineering. The genetic engineering part is quite clever. I'm going to give it 7 stars, but to be honest, I don't really recommend reading it. Unless you're a hardcore Jurassic Park fan, I wouldn't really recommend this one. So that's my review of Jurassic Park. Now, I've got a bit of a problem here. Just hear me out on this. I don't like talking about my own books too much on this channel. I want this channel to be a place where you can hear about all different kinds of books. I don't want to bombard you with adverts and stuff like that. However, I am in the process of publishing a new book of short stories, and there's no getting around it. I just have to promote it somehow. I have to make you aware of it. I just need to get it out there, because, you know, otherwise nobody is going to read it. So I just want to quickly mention it. It's called The Hand That Pulls You Under, Tales of Absurdity and Lunacy. It's a book of short horror stories, and the release date is the 10th of December this year. But it is available for pre-order right now on Amazon and Smashwords, I think. That's it. I just want to get it out there. Okay, so I'm actually going to make a video about this book. I'm going to make a kind of the making of video. I'm going to go like behind the scenes and show you all the work that I've done to make this book. Keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks. And that's about it. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to become a member of jamesflynn.org, and in the meantime, try to have a great day on this mystifying, ruthless, bombastic rock called Earth. Goodbye.